Hello, and welcome to English Pod Studio. This podcast is made for English learners who want to improve their listening and understanding. If you are learning English at the beginner or elementary level, this episode is for you. Today, I will tell you a simple story about going to the market. You will hear many common words and sentences. As you listen, try to repeat some parts out loud. This will help you practice speaking and feel more confident in English. Now, let's begin. This morning, I woke up early. The sun was shining and the air felt cool. It was a nice day to go to the market. I got out of bed, washed my face, and brushed my teeth. After that, I ate a small breakfast. I had toast and a cup of tea. Then I picked up my shopping bag. It is a big cloth bag. I use it every time I go shopping. I do not like to use plastic bags. I put my phone, my wallet, and a shopping list inside the bag. Then I left the house. The market is not far from my home. I usually walk there. It takes about 10 minutes. On the way, I passed a small park. Children were playing there. I smiled and waved at a little boy on a swing. He smiled back. When I reached the market, I saw many people. Some were buying fruits. Some were looking at clothes. Some were just walking around. The market was full of sounds and colors. I stopped at the fruit stall first. The man at the stall said, "Good morning." I smiled and said, "Good morning. How much are the bananas?" He said, $1 for a bunch. The bananas looked fresh, so I bought one bunch. Next, I went to the vegetable stall. A woman was selling tomatoes, cucumbers, carrots, and spinach. I asked, "Are the tomatoes fresh?" She said, "Yes, they are very fresh today." I bought a small bag of tomatoes and a few carrots. Then I saw a stall with bread. The smell was very nice. I walked over and said hello to the seller. He had many types of bread: white bread, brown bread, and bread with seeds. I chose a small loaf of brown bread. After that, I bought some eggs from a man with a big table. The eggs were in cartons. He asked, "Do you want 6 or 12?" I said, "Just 6, please." He packed them carefully. I walked around the market and looked at some clothes and shoes. I did not buy any clothes, but it was fun to look. The market had so many things: bags, belts, hats, even toys for children. While walking, I saw a friend. Her name is Lena. She was buying lemons. I said, "Hi, Lena." She smiled and said, "Hello. Are you shopping too?" I said yes. We talked for a few minutes, then we said goodbye. Before leaving the market, I stopped at a tea stall. The man was selling hot tea in small cups. I bought one cup and sat on a bench. I looked at the people walking by. Some were talking, some were laughing. A little girl dropped her toy, and her mother picked it up. After drinking my tea, I stood up and looked at my bag. It was full now. I had bananas, tomatoes, carrots, bread, and eggs. I felt happy. I like shopping at the market because I can talk to people and everything is fresh. Then I started walking home. The sun was still shining. I walked slowly and looked at the sky. A few birds flew above me. The wind was soft. I felt calm. When I reached home, I took off my shoes and washed my hands. Then I took the things out of my bag and put them on the table. Everything looked nice. I thought about what I could cook for lunch. Maybe vegetable soup or eggs with toast. This visit to the market was a simple part of my day, but I enjoyed it. I saw people, I smiled, I talked, and I bought what I needed. Now, I want to tell you what happened after I came home and how I used the food I bought. After I put the groceries on the table, I took a short rest. I sat on a chair and drank a glass of water. I looked at the bananas and tomatoes. They looked fresh and bright. I thought, what should I make for lunch? I decided to make something simple: vegetable soup and toast with eggs. First, I took the carrots and tomatoes to the sink and washed them. I also washed a small potato and some spinach from my fridge. Then I peeled the carrot and potato and cut them into small pieces. I cut the tomatoes too. I put a small pot on the stove and added a little oil. When the oil was warm, I added the chopped vegetables. The kitchen started to smell nice. I stirred the vegetables with a wooden spoon. Then I added water and a bit of salt. I let the soup cook slowly. While the soup was cooking, I made toast. I put 2 slices of brown bread into the toaster. Then I cracked 2 eggs into a bowl. I added a little salt and pepper. I heated a small pan and cooked the eggs. I made them soft, not too dry. When the toast popped out, I put the eggs on top. It looked good and smelled delicious. I poured the soup into a bowl and placed the toast with eggs on a plate. Then I sat at the table and began to eat. The soup was hot and tasty. The vegetables were soft and full of flavor. The toast and eggs were perfect with the soup. I felt happy and warm inside. I like eating meals that I cook myself. While eating, I thought about the market. I remembered the people I saw and the things I heard. I smiled when I remembered the man who sold me bread. He had a kind face and a soft voice. After lunch, I cleaned the table and washed the dishes. Then I looked at the bananas. They were yellow and sweet. I ate one as dessert. It was a perfect end to my meal. Later in the afternoon, I made a cup of tea and sat near the window. I wrote a few lines in my notebook about my visit to the market. I wrote, "Today was a good day. I bought fresh food and cooked a nice meal. I saw people and smiled. I felt calm." I like writing small notes like this. They help me remember the good moments. Even simple days can be special if we enjoy them. In the evening, I used the tomatoes and spinach to make a small salad for dinner. I added some olive oil and a little lemon juice. It was fresh and light. I felt proud because I used everything I bought. Nothing went to waste. After dinner, I felt relaxed. The day had been simple but nice. I sat quietly on the sofa and thought about how small things can bring joy. I thought about the people at the market. Everyone was busy, but many smiled. Some talked to each other, some helped each other. I like that feeling of connection. It makes me feel like I am part of a bigger community. I also thought about my friend Lena. It was nice to see her and talk for a few minutes. Sometimes small meetings like that make the day feel warmer. Just saying hello or asking, "How are you?" can make someone feel happy. Before bed, I checked the fridge. I still had some carrots, eggs, and spinach left. I made a plan to use them for breakfast the next day. Maybe I would make an omelet or cook the spinach with rice. I turned off the lights, brushed my teeth, and got into bed. As I lay down, I thought about my visit to the market again. It was not a big event, but it felt meaningful. I had done something useful. I had spoken to people. I had prepared good food. I said to myself, today was a good day. And then I closed my eyes and slowly fell asleep. So that was my visit to the market, from buying food to cooking it and enjoying it at home. Thank you for listening to this episode of English Pod Studio. I hope this story helped you enjoy English in a calm and easy way. Try to think about your own visit to the market or a simple day in your life. What did you see? What did you buy? What did you feel? Practice talking about it in English. You can even tell a friend or record yourself. This is a good way to build your speaking skills step by step. See you next time, and keep learning with English Pod Studio.